From their 2003 release, that is Pin Siren from Slave to Your Master. That's called Hung Like Jesus, and no, that was not Skid Row.
Good damn tune, though. Holy smokes.
Yeah. I forgot how good that was. I remember when we debuted that on the show, so many years ago, that we thought that was the second coming of Skid Row.
Yeah, that's a great band. Now, that's the guy. Whatever that guy's doing now, he's the guy that should be there instead of, what's his name? T.P. Tharp or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that guy, whoever that lead singer was for Pin Siren, he should have tried out for the
Skid Row.
And he was from New Jersey, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think those guys were from the East Coast.
Yeah. Would have been good.
Yeah, I agree. So, anyway, good stuff there. Even though we are doing unlicensed music, we've had some pretty good tunes.
Yeah, imagine that we're not locked in and shackled into the licensing thing, and we're still playing good music. How could that be?
That's impossible, man.
Remember, for a whole month, it was, the show's gonna suck now, man.
Sure.
You guys are going to play shit. Any band that has a fucking tape in their garage and you're going to play it. No,
we got some good stuff.
Yep, we got, what do we got now? 200 albums or something? Something like that, right?
Yeah, there's quite a bit.
There's a lot of, because I know the drive that I shared with you that has all the stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
Has, I think, 56 gigs of music, and that doesn't include the stuff that I know you already have, all the American Dog and the Benedictum and stuff like that, PRC.
And anything that's off of Bill Peters' Auburn Records.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that are in there that are from Bill, because I wasn't sure if you would have them or not, but for the most part, that stuff too, so... We got plenty of music. We got enough music to play for the rest of the show's life, I think.
For eons, man.
Yeah, man!
All right. Well, I don't want... my intention here on this next segment is not to turn this into a political or racial debate at all.
Then go to music.
No. But I think we would be doing our audience a little bit of a disservice without making some kind of comment on the upheaval that is going on today and how this stuff is going to affect, or potentially could affect, what we do here on the show every week.
Well, you think something's going on? Did I miss it?
Well, yeah, exactly. But I saw some people making some comments earlier in the show, or in the chat room anyway. They were kind of discussing all the protests and things going on. And again, I don't want to get into the whole debate about who did this and who said what and who was responsible. This isn't where I want to go. What I want to make our fans mindful of is where this could lead if it's allowed to go unchecked.
Okay.
Before we do that, you posted a really good video on your Facebook feed this week.
Yes.
About a gal who more or less laid it out how she viewed this whole Charlottesville thing and this upheaval between the quote unquote the white supremacists and the alt-right and the alt-left and the all this nonsense.
Right.
And then I want to give my little viewpoint, and I'm sure you have a take on it as well, as to how all of this eventually could affect what we do here on the show.
All right.
So this girl, she runs I guess it's a video vlog of, it's called, what is this called? World Cloud? Or
I don't remember what it was called. I just know she was smart as fuck.
Okay. So she lays it out in very succinct terms as to what's going on out there and how dumb all this is.
Right.
And how most of what we take in as citizens, this is all ginned up by the media.
Right.
It's all media hype, and don't buy into it.
Okay.
So let's listen to what she has to say, and we'll kind of stop and comment along the way here real quick.
Okay.
All right, so here it goes.
White supremacy and the KKK. Really? That's what you guys want me to be concerned with this week? Do I look like an idiot? My name is Candace Owens, and you are watching my vlog series, The Myth of the Coon.
All right. The name of her vlog is called The Myth of the Coon.
Okay.
Red pill black girl.
Nice.
So mind you, this is a black woman giving this viewpoint.
Okay.
Oh my God, Charlottesville. White supremacy is alive and well. Run. Stop. If you are a black person and you express some irrational fears this week over the rise of the Klansmen and neo-Nazis, let me invite you over for a cup of hot steaming facts. Fact number 1. Approximately 93% of black homicide victims are killed by other black people. In 2014, 6,095 black people were killed, and virtually all of them were killed by other black people.
Chris, comment?
I agree. I can't argue with her logic.
Yep.
That sounds like a normal, like the same numbers that I hear all the time.
Right. Okay, so it's a lot of black on black crime.
And that's what it sounds like.
Okay, so here we go.
Black Lives Matter protesters may want to consider extending their slogan to "Don't shoot," because we've already got it covered. And you're not special, white people. Seriously, in 2012, 84% of white homicides were committed by other white people. Go figure. It's like we're all racist towards our own selves. Nobody wants us dead more than we want ourselves dead. I mean...
All right.
Wow.
Nobody wants us dead more than we want ourselves dead.
Jeez, that's a strong statement, huh?
Yeah, but given the statistics, it's hard to argue with it.
Right, that's true.
All right, here we go.
There are, 6,000 Klansmen left in our nation. You want me to actually process that as a legitimate fear every day when I wake up? It's Donald Trump's fault that they're feeling energized. It's Obama's fault that Black Lives Matter is violent. Both of you children, to your room. It's obviously the media's fault. I mean, the media is creating this entire narrative, and it is crazy, absolutely crazy to me that people have not figured this out yet. I mean, why do you think we didn't hear a single thing about David Duke, white supremacy, and the KKK the entire time Obama was in office? Do you think that they were all hiding underground, waiting for the next white president, meeting by the light of the moon? Do you really actually believe that they weren't still meeting, holding protests, having rallies and marches? Maybe the media wasn't covering it.
All right. Good point.
Damn good point. She's spot on, man. She's got the answers. She should be the one out there on in the media talking about this shit.
Well, the reason she wouldn't be out in the media talking about this is because it doesn't fit the narrative.
True. What would they label her? Aunt Tom?
Well, they would label her as being like brainwashed, or she's not because she's not towing the liberal line that she's an oppressed black woman.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't sound like she's too upset about being a black woman and that the world has taken away her ability to succeed, does she?
No, not at all.
Nope.
Use your brain. I mean, the media is literally simulating a reality right now, and it is fascinating to watch people fall for it over and over again. Am I the only person in the world that relies on her own experiences to dictate what's going on in the world? I mean, maybe it's me. Maybe I live in a bubble where black people and white people actually get along every day. When I went to the gym this morning, a white girl signed me in and handed me a towel. No beef. I was trying to figure out how to use this weight machine, and a black trainer came over and helped me. No drama. I even went to the coffee shop thereafter, and a Spanish girl made my latte with an extra shot. All good in the hood. And it was a great day. So you'll have to forgive me for not realizing that the figurative racial sky was burning, and it was up to me to choose a side. Because if I had known, I obviously would have picked none of you losers. Honestly, everybody involved in this fake racial war is a loser. So please, spare me the statuses, and your white guilt, and your black pride, because I really don't care to see it. You know?
I love her. She might be my favorite person of all time right now.
Right. You love her today, but who knows, maybe not tomorrow.
Yeah, I love her today.
Right.
She's replaced, what's her name, Tomi Lahren?
Yeah.
Tommy Lahren, whatever her name is.
Yeah, Tomi Lahren.
Yeah, she's replaced her now since Tommy. What happened to her? She just done disappeared.
Yeah, well, she's not part of Blaze anymore, so she's not quite getting the coverage or the exposure she used to.
You would think that somebody, like she'd be out just with her phone or something and just popping up and people would be covering it.
Yeah, kind of like that girl who's on Alex Jones' network. What's that chick's name? The blonde girl? I
don't know.
She's always going out to different things, and, you know, I can't remember what her name is, but she's always out there interviewing people and getting people to talk to her or not talk to her.
Right. Speaking of Alex, did you see that video of him chasing down the guy?
Yeah, the guy who was flipping him off and stuff.
I love Alex, man. He's such a fucking... I mean, he's a little bit nuts, like, completely, but he is funny.
He is funny. I kind of had a hard time believing the coffee thing.
Oh, with the
guy who threw the coffee on him, because, number one... That did look kind of staged, and number two, why wasn't that coffee hot enough to burn him or even react to it? You know what I mean? If it was staged, they'd make sure that whatever liquid is the guy threw on him wasn't going to burn his ass.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I had a hard time believing that.
Well, it could have been staged. Who knows?
Yeah, I know, but come on, Alex, if you want people to take you seriously, because you know you are a fringe element out there.
Yeah.
You don't stage stupid shit like that.
Yeah, there's enough eyes on you that you don't have to invent shit.
Right, exactly.
There's enough bullshit going on right now that shouldn't need to invent anything, should you?
No. But CNN does it all the time, so I guess it's okay for them to do it.
Yeah. Hey, what did you think about MSNBC being the number one rated network this week? Or for one day or something. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. I literally have not watched any news outlets here in actually a couple of months.
You're not missing anything.
Oh, I know.
Not a damn thing.
All right. Well, let's get back to this gal here.
All right.
You know what's going to happen if we keep down this path? We are actually going to allow the media to create those divisions where none existed prior. I mean, I already see it happening on my Facebook feed. People that were once liking each other's brunch photos are now at each other's throats with claims of racism. I'm like, didn't you two date in high school? Yeah, ma'am. Then I found out that she's a total Nazi sympathizer. I don't know. She's a Nazi sympathizer. She sympathizes with the Nazis. Huh? Bottom line, I am not too disturbed by the events that happened in Charlottesville, because that is what happens when two groups of losers that hate one another get together. That's what happens when the Bloods show up to a Crip party, and if you think one person is above the other, then that's on you. I think the president was absolutely right to call it for what it is, which is two groups of extremists. Nobody showed up looking to give hugs. As an African-American woman in this country, some things that I'm actually afraid of are the education system and the prison system. These are two institutions that actually do systematically oppress and disadvantage African Americans and keep us on the cycle of crime and poverty. But you won't hear your media talking about any of that. Nope. The media is going to keep encouraging us to act like absolute animals, to make sure we get arrested and end up in that system, and to make sure that we do not have a shot at getting into the schools and receiving the education that will close the gap and the barrier for African Americans. Thank you guys so much for watching.
All right, there she goes.
Smart girl, man.
Absolutely.
She definitely gets it. She's not picking a side. As there's no side to pick in this.
Not at all.
That's the thing that I keep finding amusing is that, all week I've gotten to hear about my new tag as a Nazi. And I'm like, how am I a fucking Nazi?
Well, where did that come from?
Where do you think? Stupid ass Facebook.
Well, I know, but did you post something out there that?
Well, if I've been answering some of the shit about my basic premise, and it is my true thought, is that I like seeing these guys fucking kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's better TV than MMA. It's fantastic. I can't wait to watch the news in the morning to see these fucking guys hitting each other with clubs and shit. I love seeing the stupid kill the stupid.
Right.
I want them. I literally want them to kill each other. I don't want peaceful demonstrations of stupid people. Come together, whack each other out, and be done with all of you, because you're all fucking stupid. But by saying that, I've become everything to all of my fucking social justice douchebag friends. Every single one of them is like, you support violence. You are a Nazi. You are probably a white supremacist. Like,
these are people that you interact with?
Of course. It's like, no, I just fucking hate stupid people. That's what I am. I'm a hater of the stupid.
Right.
I can't take it. I can't stand watching people that take politics out of their life I can get along with pretty well, but add in whatever the media tells them and they just turn stupid. They stop thinking. All of this nonsense about statues and shit, this is all a clever collection of people that are following the lead of a TV show. Do you know how stupid that sounds? I was arguing with somebody on Cleveland.com's Facebook page, and the guy answered me with, "There's a reason that advertisers spend billions of dollars a year to advertise their product," and I answered him back, and he got fucking pissed. And I was like, you guys are too fucking stupid to understand this simple fact. You're letting the news tell you something that you wouldn't even let other advertisers tell you. And I used the exact example of they're all crazy right now about white supremacists because one person was killed. Fair enough. Be pissed off at the group, I guess, that... needless to say, they're not expounding anger about the guy himself that did it. It's the whole group that killed, not the one asshole in his car. But whatever. If you want to pick on a group because you're fucking too shallow to call out the individual, fine, go ahead. But I will call you back out and say advertisers of Anheuser-Busch spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year? Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, easily. Worldwide? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
To advertise their beer. And I guarantee you that tonight, right now, it's midnight here on the East Coast. Within the next 30 minutes, there will be somebody mowed down and killed somewhere in these United States by somebody ingesting their product. And you know what I guarantee you won't see tomorrow? A line of people in a protest outside of Anheuser-Busch saying that they should be banning that product that killed whoever tonight. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, and that's absolutely correct.
That's the problem. You're letting... You know what, though? If the media grabbed this goddamn story and said, beer has to stop, it's killing people at an alarming rate. Look at this young woman that was killed just last night in Butte, Montana. You know what would happen? You'd have fucking 1,000 fucking yahoos standing outside of Anheuser-Busch tomorrow.
Right.
The media is telling these fucking dickheads what to do and where to go. And they're too fucking dumb to understand it and say, wait a minute, I'm not going to be told by you or anybody else what to do. They want to say that they're against slavery, and that's why they're attacking the statues. What are they doing? They're doing exactly what their slave master, the media, is telling them to fucking do.
Right. Well, the thing is what people don't seem to comprehend is that in today's world, the news media is a business, and the more people they get to tune in or, swallow that tripe, the higher their ratings are, the more advertisement they can sell, and they get rich off of that.
Right, of course.
So we got to gin up enough, controversy to where people will tune into this lamestream media or this fake news and, buy into it.
Yeah. And you don't have to look very far. You just have to use an ounce of critical thinking to know that this is not new, that this is how it has been for the last 20 or so years that I've been watching TV. Do you ever notice, I'm sure you have, do you ever notice how there's always 10 stories a year that are, for the most part, they're normal crimes. They're normal crimes, but for some reason they become national huge stories, whether it's like John Benet Ramsey. Okay, I'll just use that as an example. John Benet Ramsey was a kid that got killed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But what was she, 5 or 6 or whatever when she was killed?
She was like 5, yeah.
How many 5 or 6-year-old kids get killed a year?
It happens every day. I see news stories about somebody leaving their children in a hot car,
yeah,
or something like that all the time.
Right, but let's just stick to murder.
Okay, murder.
How many 5-year-olds you think in a year? 100
easily
in this country.
Easily,
100 kids are murdered. Why was Jean Benet Ramsey a big deal? I contend it was because they had something else going on in the news. Why was Scott Peterson whacking his wife and dumping her in a lake bigger news than anybody else that whacks their wife? You see that in any major city newspaper. You see that every day.
Mm-hmm.
That somebody whacks their wife, just kills her. But that one was somehow special. Andrea Yates drowned her kids. Why was that more special than any other mother that kills her kids? Why haven't we had another Andrea Yates? Are you going to tell me there hasn't been another mother that has drowned their kids since Andrea Yates? Or is it that the media got their little buzz when they needed it at that time and then went away from it?
Right, of course. Well, like I said, they have to gin up a story that grabs your attention for that space and time.
Right.
Raise those ratings up, sell that advertising, and capitalize on that, that commercialized news source.
Yeah. What I don't understand is why so many people don't get it. Why it's right in front of you. It's been as long as you've had a television, you've seen people so easily led. If there was going to be race riots about Confederate flags and fucking Confederate statues and and the Civil War and all that shit, wouldn't the logical time of that happening have been during the reign of the 8-year reign of the first ever black president? But that didn't fit the narrative.
No.
It fits the narrative now because they can't find any other way. This president shit on this media. So this media is now attacking with hot buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's going on.
Absolutely.
It's not that there's any more civil unrest. It's not that Donald Trump is any more fucking racist than anybody else. Fuck. You want to go on who's fucking broken race relations off? Let's look back to the last 8 years. That motherfucker broke race relations in half. Everybody was coasting along fine, getting along with each other for the most part, until that fucking jizz bucket got into the office.
Right.
But now this guy is somehow they couldn't get him in the political arena. They laughed that he was trying to get elected. Then he got elected, and they couldn't take him down they couldn't even get him taken down when he talked about fucking finger banging chicks. They got him on tape, played the tape on the news that he's going to fucking grab the pussy. And that didn't stop him from getting one goddamn vote. So what did they do? Now they went to the next hot button, which is racism, because that's a hot button.
Right.
And the minute that racism doesn't work, they're going to go to religion. Bank on it. That this fucker is not religious, and here comes the pussy talk again, and blah blah blah. That is how the media is fighting this fucking guy.
Right.
And it's amazing to me that regular people are too fucking stupid to see it, and instead are like, yeah, I'm joining Antifa or whatever that shit is, and I'm gonna go and march, and I'm gonna be led, and I'm gonna fight the fascists. What's her name here? The girl, she made a great point. There's 6,000 Nazis total.
Yeah.
In a country of 330 million people.
Right. 6,000.
Not a concern. Not at all a concern.
Yeah, well, and I pointed this out last week that during the Charlotte thing, there was a total of 500 people there total.
Yeah,
500. That doesn't even fill up a gymnasium.
I know, it's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. And the worst part about the whole thing for me, I'm not even a Trump guy, and I have to find myself defending this guy. I'm not. I mean, I don't necessarily hate him, but I don't love him either. But somehow I have to end up defending him, not because I'm defending him, but because I'm defending the stupidity of everybody else. I'm defending against the stupidity of everybody else. Because I just can't believe that people that I interact with can be so fucking dumb. You know, and I'm sure maybe you're not having it as much because you're I think anybody around you pretty much knows that you are a staunch Trump guy.
No, I like Trump because he stands up for what he believes and he doesn't back down.
Right.
He does not back down. He doesn't lick his finger and put his finger to the wind to see which way the winds are blowing today to make a statement. He makes a statement from what he actually believes, and even if it goes against the narrative, he doesn't back down. You know, when he was making his statement about Charlottesville last week, and all these jackals in the media were just coming at him right and left, he would just stand there and go, excuse me, I saw the same video that you saw, and this is what happened. You know, don't change the narrative to fit whatever story you want to make out of it. This is the facts.
Right.
You know, there was blame on both sides, period. Well, you need to call out the bad guys. They were all bad.
Yeah, the other side wasn't just standing there reading Bible hymns and getting beaten by cars. There was all kinds of fights. Yeah, dude, the narrative today. I was looking at something right before we came live today, and it was an article talking about how the media presented the thing in Boston today as peaceful. But then the same article, like you scroll down and it showed all these different tweets going out from the Boston Police Department saying things like, we've arrested 27 people for violence, and there's a fight here and there's a fight there, and there's people throwing urine balloons here and there. And it's like, yeah, the media doesn't want that to be out there, though. The media wants it because it was a anti-Nazi demonstration. All they want out there is that it was a peaceful presentation.
Right, of course.
You know, it's so well. It's like, dude, correct me if I'm wrong on this, because I've said this many times and I'll keep saying it is absolute truth. I have not followed politics at all since the election.
Right.
I was so disgusted with it that I stopped. But I catch bits and pieces, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Am I wrong in thinking that one of the biggest complaints that the left has had with Trump's administration was this Bannon guy? Am I wrong in thinking that?
That one of the things that was wrong with it?
That the people on the left hated that.
Yeah,
Bannon
they did. And when it's a problem when Bannon chose to leave is when the left said it's about time When the Democrats and the left are happy about something, then you know it's the wrong thing.
And now they're celebrating him as, like I was seeing today, that it's going to be a war now, and now that Bannon's gone, he could tell all the secrets and this and that. And I saw, in fact, it was my cousin that tweeted out or Facebooked this. He said, "This is the final straw. This is the one that's going to get Trump to resign. He's probably going to resign before the fall's over." And I'm like, this guy ain't resigning.
No.
Donald Trump is not going to quit.
Yeah, he won the election. He went up against all odds. Every news media out there said this guy's never going to be the president.
Yeah.
And he became the president. Then they go, well, he's gonna get impeached.
Right.
He's gonna get this. He's gonna get. It never comes true. Never.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But anyway, I didn't want to turn this into a whole discussion, even though as interesting as it is. But I do want to make just one point, and I want people who are fans of this show or any other show that has controversial material, be it Cumia or Joe Rogan or any of them.
Sure.
But I want to make this one point, and I know our fans are they're pretty smart. Most of them are anyway, at least the ones that I've interacted with. I want to make this point, and if it hasn't dawned on you yet, you need to be very, very aware of this.
Okay.
Just this whole nonsense, it all started last summer with that whole Confederate flag. We got to get rid of the Confederate flag. We got to ban that. We got to ban it. We got to ban it. Every week there was a news story about the Confederate flag. It's a piece of cloth, people. It doesn't threaten your lives or anything else. If you want to, and the thing is we as Americans, we have the freedom of speech, not to be censored. And that doesn't mean that you have the freedom of speech within a privately owned business or whatever. You have the freedom of speech to where you're not censored by the government.
Right.
People don't quite understand that, okay?
Right.
Because if somebody gets fired, which like that guy from Google, he released that manifesto. Well, he got fired because it went against their policy, their whatever, and they were probably right in firing him.
Okay.
Because that was within the confines of a business.
Right.
If he was out in the public square lamenting about this and he was arrested or censored by the government, then his freedom of speech would have been violated.
Right.
All right. This whole thing with we got to take down these statues. We got to do this. What people don't realize is that if you took down every Confederate related statue, it's not going to end there. It's not going to end. The next thing it's going to be, we have to condemn the founding fathers because they were slave owners. We have to get rid of any kind of memorial to them, or we have to somehow scrub that out of our history books. Because George Washington was a slave owner. Thomas Jefferson was a slave owner. Blah, blah, blah. These were our founding fathers. Well, the next thing is we've got to, condemn them. Then it's going to move into, we got to stop people who are broadcasters, be it us or anybody else, because they say hurtful things and people get their feelings hurt. We have to stop them too.
Sure.
So the next thing you're going to get is, we have to shut that down. Right. And that'll bleed right over into what we do here. Yeah, we talk about a lot of controversial things, and yeah, we're kind of comedy oriented. But the next thing you know, the CMS is going to get shut down because you guys said hurtful, derogatory things. You said negative stuff. People's feelings were hurt, and we can't have that.
Right.
And then once that goes away, what's next? We got to ban books from conservative media people, say like a Rush Limbaugh or maybe a Bill O'Reilly or whatever, because they have things in there that preach values that we don't believe in.
Right, sure.
They talk about personal responsibility, and that's just wrong because not everybody had the privilege of growing up in a good family. So we have to get rid of those books that preach personal responsibility because it's not fair to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to go from one thing to the next, and it's never going to stop.
And you're not even taking into consideration if the leadership itself changes completely. Like right now, you got Dems and Republicans, and they're both, as fucked up as they all are, they're both sort of have the same basic ideals of what the country is. They have different methodology of getting there, but for the most part, they sort of have the same idea of what an American is. What's going to happen, when, let's say, a Muslim gets elected as the president?
He already did. We had 8 years of that.
I mean a true one that's not hiding his Muslim-only.
I gotcha. You mean somebody who actually admits they're a Muslim.
I mean somebody that's going to make the country, that's going to say the country needs to take 8 prayer breaks a day. And the country's national religion is now Islam. And the country's law is now Sharia law. What's going to happen when that comes in? Then what? All these people are going to say, oh, no, well, wait a minute. That's not what I wanted. No, you're the ones that opened the door for that to happen. You should never, under any circumstance ever, should you ever fucking go and advocate for giving up any right that you have. I don't care if it's the dumbest thing you can think of. If you don't smoke, you should still be pro-smoking in a fucking public place. If that's on your ballot, you should never give up a right, because the minute you give up any right, then you give somebody's willing to take it to the next level. And eventually it's going to swing past your line and it's going to fuck you in the ass. And nobody seems to understand that.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. It's just like, well, I think it's right we should take down these Confederate Why are you taking down these statues? The Confederate, the Civil War actually happened. It's history. It just commemorates the history of this country. Why are you doing it? Well, because it hurts my feelings. It's painful to see that every day.
Is it? Really?
I mean, but the thing is like I said, if we took down every Confederate-related statue in this entire country and tried to wash that away, the next thing will be something else. Well, we got that done. Now we need to go after this person or that group or this, and before you know it, we will be so sanitized and so censored that you could get arrested for saying something that somebody deems offensive.
Sure. Yeah, and that seems to be what these fucking dummies on the left don't see is coming. And they're advocating for it. And they should be fought against. I don't know. I don't necessarily think it should be white supremacists that fight them, but everybody should be fighting against giving up any kind of rights. Always. You should never want to give up any right for any reason. Whether it's the freedom to bear arms, the freedom of speech, any of it. If it's something that is your right, you should never, under any circumstance, be willing to give it up. Not without a fight. That's fucking ridiculous. That's just fucking being a pussy.
Yep. So anyway, for those of you who are fans of this show or any other podcast or any, television shows, just watch. If you as citizens back that kind of thing, and it'll eventually come around to that. It really will.
It will.
So I don't know how long this show is going to last. I mean, we'll do this show until we can't do it anymore or don't feel like it or one of us dies or something. But I'm not going anywhere soon. But you need to be mindful that if this kind of thing is allowed to continue in this country, it's over.
Yeah. Neeley and I will just stop sharing our conversations.
Yeah.
We'll just have them between ourselves.
Exactly.
In secret.
Exactly.